Hello, Sonoma County. Hey, I bet you've heard about the charming, historic little town of Sonoma here in Sonoma County. Maybe you're even thinking that it might be a place you might want to live someday. It is so cute and it is charming and it has a lot of history. There might be some reasons that it might not be the place for you to live. So today I'm going to go through and talk about kind of the 7 main reasons you might not want to live in the little town of Sonoma. But first, I'm Julie Sullivan with Sullivan Group Real Estate, and we help people move in and out and all around Sonoma County every year. So if you're thinking of making a move anytime soon in the new year, maybe not till the end of 2024, reach out. Let's start chatting. Let us help educate you about the different areas here in Sonoma County and get a plan in place that can work for you. Let me go through the 7 reasons you may not want to live in the little town of Sonoma. All right, the first reason, I've already said it half a dozen times, it's a small town. I didn't grow up in a small town. Let me also say, I've lived in Sonoma County for like 35 years, and 20 of those I did live in the little town of Sonoma, in Sonoma Valley itself. And growing up in the greater Bay Area, this was my first exposure to small town living. And it has its own things. I mean, everybody kind of knows everybody's business. It's really kind of funny to me. It's almost, sometimes you can kind of feel like you're living in a fishbowl a little bit. Kind of a funny story, when my oldest son first started driving, I was at work one day and a lady came in and she told me that my son made a California stop at a stop sign. And I just like, oh my gosh, but that's how it kind of is. I mean, everybody knows, who's getting married, who's getting divorced, who's having a baby. I mean, whose kids are dating who. And I mean, there's a good side to it because everybody kind of looks out for each other, but there's also kind of that small town gossipy side. So if you don't think you're ready for that, keep that in mind when you're considering Sonoma. I think reason number 2, kind of have to talk about the housing. It is one of the more expensive areas in Sonoma County. We have about 9 main cities throughout our county, and there's a couple, I'd say I got like 3 or 4 in mind right now that kind of stand out, that have a little bit higher prices for homes than other areas in our county, and Sonoma is definitely one of them. Their median home price is sitting well over $1 million, probably, depending on the market, 1.1, 1.2 million. So, there is all types of housing. They have townhouses, they have smaller, kind of the old summer cabinets, like cabins up in the Boys Springs area, El Verano area, that are so cute, and some of them have been redone, and you can get those under $1 million in the $700,000 and $800,000 range. But when you look at like the median home price countywide, sitting at like anywhere between like $820,000 to $840,000, over $1 million certainly puts it at the higher range of housing costs here in Sonoma County. I think the third reason you have to kind of think about Sonoma Valley and is it the place for you would be getting in and out and around this town. Let me kind of talk for a minute about where Sonoma Valley is within our county. It's kind of on the eastern, southern-ish, but most eastern side of our county. And when we call it Sonoma Valley, it literally is its own little valley. I mean, people that live there, they call it the island. Oh, I'm going out to Marin or down to San Francisco and they say they're getting off the island. It's kind of funny because you really are kind of out there by yourself. In relation to San Francisco, you're coming off the Golden Gate Bridge, you shoot up Highway 101, which takes you right up, through Marin County and into Sonoma County. But if you're coming to Sonoma, you'll turn at what's called Highway 37. It's almost at the end of Marin County, and you come across there. There's the famous Sears Point Raceway or Infineon Raceway right there on Highway 37, and then you come back into Sonoma Valley. So when you take that turn off of Highway 37, it's about a 30-minute drive. So to get back out to 101 from Sonoma Valley towards Marin, it's about 30 minutes. To get up to Santa Rosa, which is like our biggest city and main hub for shopping malls and things like that, it's 35 minutes. Or you can go over to Napa Valley, which again has everything you would need, lifestyle wise, again is another 35 minutes. So just something to keep in mind when you're living there. I mean, I can remember when I lived there and the kids were little, and I'd get up to Santa Rosa and I'd say, okay, is there anything I need up here between now and the next time I think I'm coming up here, as birthday gifts? I mean, not that Sonoma doesn't have those things. You can get by and make do, but that is the main hubs for stuff. Or a lot of doctor's appointments and things, you're going to have to drive a little bit probably. So keep that in mind, because that is something to really consider if that's not something you're interested in. If you like having all the conveniences around you, that's not really going to happen living in Sonoma Valley. Reason number 4, and this kind of ties in with reason number 3. I'll explain in a minute. Sonoma Valley is definitely a tourist destination. I mean, again, it's a very popular, well-known, charming, historic town. The downtown Sonoma Plaza is famous for the barracks and General Vallejo's house, and where the Bear Flag Revolt was. So when I say there's a mission there, so when I say it's a historic town, it truly, truly is. I think Gunlock Bunshoe and Buena Vista wineries, those two, they're a couple of the 2 oldest wineries in California, and they maybe even more than California. And they're right there, just right off the Sonoma Plaza. So it's definitely a destination. The Sonoma Mission Inn, a very famous inn in Reno. It's a Fairmont property. It's right outside of the city limits there. So tourism, it's what keeps that town going. And with the tourism comes some really great lodging. You do get some really great restaurants downtown, lots of wine tasting, lots of great things to do. The Sonoma Valley is so well known for a lot of really great events that they put on every year. I mean, it's one of the best 4th of Julys you're ever going to experience, from the parade in the morning to the spectacular fireworks show in the evening to all the stuff going on in the plaza all day long. They have a big harvest festival every year. There's what do you call those? The movie festivals at Old Sebastiani Theater, film festivals. And so because of this, it draws a lot of tourism. What comes with that? A lot of traffic again. So I mean, literally, like in the summertime, if I didn't have to go through the downtown area, I would try to avoid it. It was just, all the stop signs get backed up. Sonoma Valley's not real hot on lights. It's just still the old stop signs. So you could be like backed up like 20 deep, and it's one car. So it's just how it is. So traffic is a part of life in Sonoma Valley a little bit. And it's just a small little town with everybody trying to get around the same little 2-lane streets. So there's no 4-lane roads in Sonoma Valley or that whole surrounding valley area. I mean, even the roads to get out to that Highway 37 up to Santa Rosa to Petaluma or over to Napa, they're 2-lane roads. And that's just part of life and living there. So traffic, tourism, and 2-lane roads are part of the whole traffic congestion that can be part of living in Sonoma Valley. Reason number 5, this town rolls up pretty early, you guys. I mean, if you're looking for some nightlife or things to do after like 9 or 10 o'clock, not in Sonoma. I mean, even the restaurants, like you could go downtown to go out to dinner at one, like I've mentioned, the great restaurants down there, and you get down there like 6, 7 o'clock and you're like, wow, this place is hopping. I mean, and it is. Like they all have outdoor areas in the summer, the bars are full, the restaurants are full, and you think, oh, this is gonna be so fun tonight. There's even some old bars right on the plaza that have been there for, probably 100 years. And you think it's gonna go on, and then all of a sudden, like 9, 10 o'clock, it's a ghost town. And you're like, where'd everybody go? It's just how it is. You'll find, now and then a little bit of music here or there at a couple different places, but for the most part, nightlife just isn't really a part of that lifestyle down there. So if you're kind of young and you're thinking you want to go out, or you're still into all of that, you may want to consider some other areas, because you are not really going to get that in Sonoma Valley. And I mean, honestly, even when you find live music, I'm talking like probably 11 o'clock, they've all shut down and everyone's going home. So just again, another part of life of living in that small town. It's still very much an ag community, and farmers and grape growers and chicken dairy ranches, they get up early in the morning, and that still is a big part of the Sonoma Valley lifestyle. So that's just a reality down there. All right, reason number 6, I kind of already touched on this a little bit when I was talking about getting to the other areas, is the lack of shopping, okay? You have what you need in Sonoma. Don't get me wrong there. I mean, there's a Safeway, there's a Lucky's, there's a Whole Foods, Sonoma Market, one of my very favorite, locally owned, it's not, I don't even want to call it a specialty market. It's a good sized market, but it's wonderful, wonderful bakery and deli and butchers, the real old fashioned butchers still are there, and wonderful market. There's drugstores, pharmacies, they have a little hospital, there's urgent care, they have, plenty of doctors, but there's no malls. They're not real big on chains, like chain stores or chain restaurants. They really don't exist there. I mean, there's a McDonald's and a Taco Bell and a Jack in the Box. I think that's it. And trust me, I lived in town. Well, I was a kid when the McDonald's came to town, and my grandparents lived up there, so I was up there all the time. They shut the town down and had a parade on the day they opened McDonald's. It was like that big of a deal. And then they fought Jack in the Box and Taco Bell for years. Like, it's just, they don't really want a lot of that. You know, they want to keep it that small town, homegrown, mom and pop's shop kind of place. And there's some beautiful shops, you know, around the plaza, some beautiful stores. There is a Williams Sonoma on the plaza, but for the most part, they are individually owned stores. Some of them have been there for years and years. They can tend to be a little pricier. But I mean, if you did need a last minute gift or you needed a last minute something for yourself, you'd probably be able to find it, but you're not going to be able to go to Macy's or the regular mall stores that we all know. There's not a Costco in town. There's not a Home Depot. We do have there is a Friedman's down there. So there is a big home improvement store and lumber yard should you need stuff, but there will be needs to go out to the other places. So if you, like I said earlier, if you're used to all those conveniences, you know, when you grew up, like if you, like me, grew up in the greater Bay Area, like everything is at your fingertips, you know, it's just not that way in Sonoma Valley. And I'll tell you, the people that live there, they like it. They like that all that stuff's not there. When they need it, they can jump on the car and get there in 30 minutes and they're fine with that. But you got to know that going in. Reason number 7, and I hope this makes you guys laugh, but honestly, I'm being totally truthful about it. And it can kind of happen everywhere in this county, but we call it the Sonoma Aroma. Okay, there are certain times in the year where you think your backyard turned into a couch and it smells everywhere. And I've heard a few different theories on it, that it just happens sometimes during the year, but it's also when they fertilize the fields. So like I said, I've lived in Santa Rosa now for the last like 15 years, and we'll still get it once in a while, but you seem to get it a lot more down there. And it's just, again, a part of living in this very ag community. You are not gonna drive around very far in Sonoma without passing cows, chickens, horses, grapes, fruit orchards. I mean, it's still very, very prevalent in that area. And again, something they're very proud of, but people laugh, and it has been coined Sonoma Aroma. You know, and along with that is the sounds of agriculture. And, you know, it's not uncommon to get out on, you know, one of the main roads, again, a 2-lane road, and you are following the John Deere tractor driving 15 miles an hour. Chill out and hang out, because that's how it is, and you just get behind it. Again, the people that live down there love it. They are so proud of their community, and they're so proud of their tight-knit community, all the events and the fun they have down there. They're proud of their agriculture and their grapes and their wineries and just everything about their little town. But it attracts those kind of people. So I guess if you're thinking of moving there, let's make sure you're one of those kind of people. Does that give you a little better idea of what's going on down there in Sonoma Valley? It really is a great community. I enjoyed living there for all the years that I did. My kids were mostly, for the most part, most of them were raised there in Sonoma Valley. My mom is still in Sonoma Valley. So we are very familiar about the area, and we would love you to pick our brains about it. I can help you with anything you need to know down there, and or we'll find the answers. So reach out. Again, Julie Sullivan, my number's right here. You're going to get me every time you ring my phone. We'd love you to subscribe to our channel, like this video. We put out new videos all about Sonoma County, Sonoma Valley, Sonoma County, and Sonoma County real estate every week. And we'd love to have you follow along. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll chat soon. Bye-bye.